See, in today's market, which is a buyer's market, in when it comes to hiring, I mean, the person you're hiring, he dictates the terms these days a lot. But I think in startups, if you have to sell that reality beyond what one can dream of, and if you're able to sell him that, I think it's mostly on the equity. Startups, that why this we call it sweat equity, right? I mean, the term sweat equity. Sweat equity is that let's say when I did my first startup, or I mean, I didn't never joined somebody else's startup, but I hired, let's say, someone from a large company called NetApp, and that guy used to be making, including all his bonuses and everything, $400,000, and I could only give him $200,000, and the remaining I said, okay, I'll give it to you in in equity, in grant, I mean, in stock grants, basically. So either stock grants, either your stock incentive options, or non-qualified options. I mean, there are various kinds of options. I mean, if you talk to your lawyer, or I think depending upon the kind of where you are in India, I don't know what kind of things exist, but in US we have many instruments. I mean, you have stock grants, that you can grant a stock. Of course, there is some tax implications on that. And then I think you have uh, in ISO, I mean, we should define incentive stock option pool. You give him that, or non-qualified stock options. I mean, there are instruments like that, and even in these options, they are generally vest over time. That's kind of how you are able to hold them also. I'll give you stock. Right now its value is 10 cents, 20 cents, or $1. Now if the company becomes successful, it's going to be 10, 20, 30, $40. And that's kind of the gain that person is going to look at. And it's vest over 4 years, so you are able to hold them to become part of your company for 4 years, right? And that's kind of how the journey goes, right? Other thing in a startup to sell is good work environment, depending upon the level of person you're hiring. I mean, if suppose I hired a vice president level person from, let's say, NetApp, which is a very successful storage company, even today. I mean, I'm talking 10-15 years ago, but even today it's a very successful company. If you've hired a person from NetApp or Flipkart, let's say, in India, or Amazon in India or US, as your vice president, and now you're looking for a managerial level person, and he has the ability to work for a person of that level of experience directly, without having too many layers in between, and he gains that experience, right? I mean, that's kind of what you're selling to him. And you're selling a very flexible work environment. You're selling ability to be part of that founding team, which is creating something which has potential of becoming next big thing, right? So that's the thing, is what I mean, startups are all about, again, creating that reality beyond what one can dream of, right?